website, and I'm going to share my screen here. All right, can everybody see that? Okay, good. All right, so our website is neorsd.org. And the first thing you need to do to begin your certification with us is register as a vendor. So every firm that does business with the sewer district needs to register as a vendor, regardless of your certification status. So to do that, you take your mouse and go to business, doing business with us. I'm not clicking on anything, I'm just hovering. So if you just drag your mouse and hover over these links at the top, you'll get these drop down boxes. So I'm hovering over business, and then I'm going down to doing business with us. And then I'm going to click on register as a new vendor, iSupplier login. So like I said, the first thing you need to do, and this is for any firm that's interested in doing business with the sewer district, you must register as a new vendor. And then you come to this page and you just click on register as a new vendor and follow the directions on the screen here. All right, so that's first. Secondly, I'm going to take you to the business opportunity page of our website. And we're going to do that simply by going right back to business, doing business with us, business opportunity program, get certified. And this is going to redirect you to our business opportunity page. So take a look here. There's some featured links here. One link in particular, we're going to come back to that link, the NAICS business size standards. That's going to be important as we fill out your application if you don't know what your NAICS codes are. So once we're on this page, we got these 3 tabs, and right there at the top, register as a vendor, which we already did, okay? Find out if you're already registered. If you're not sure, if you started this program, if you started this process before and you're not sure if you did this part, you can click here and search the database, and it'll let you know if you're already registered as a vendor with the sewer district. Well, the 3rd tab here is where we're going to start, and that's apply for certification or recertify online. And this is going to redirect you to our MWSBE compliance system. All right. So if this is the first time you're on this page, what you need to do is go under where it says vendor certification and click on apply for certification. Now, if you've already started your City of Cleveland certification application, City of Cleveland and the sewer district, we both use this software system called B2G Now. And if you've already started your City of Cleveland certification and you go to create a new account on the sewer district side, it's going to tell you that your email address is already in use. That's nothing to be worried about. All it's talking about is it's in use for the City of Cleveland side of the software. So what we have to do, we kind of have to trick the software into thinking we're a different entity. And the way we do that is simply resetting your password. And so this is kind of confusing because we're not resetting your password for the City of Cleveland side of the software. We're basically resetting your password so that you can use your email as your username for the sewer district side. I know it sounds kind of confusing, but if you're not sure, again, my information is in the chat box. Please don't hesitate. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me with any questions that you might have about that. So all things being even, so let's say you haven't started your City of Cleveland certification, and this is the first time you're starting certification. So you're going to click here on apply for certification. And you're going to go under new certification and click create an account. Okay. So create an account, you're going to need your tax ID number, and basically a lot of the stuff that you've collected for the other certifications, you're going to import that information here with this certification. Okay. So now I already have an account, so I'm going to jump out of this. I'm going to show you my account. So after you log in, this is what you're going to see. This is your dashboard. Okay. So under here where it says certification center, if you have any other certificates, so for example, if you have your certificate with the city of Cleveland, or even if you started your application, that information will show up in this box here. Okay. But just starting out, we're going to go under the area where it says key actions. And just starting out, it'll just say renew/apply for certification. And that's where we're going to start. So you click there. Well, I already have one started. Well, I'm going to click here anyway, so you can so I can show you the first screen here. So here's the welcome page. And from here, the questions that the software asks are going to determine which application you fill out. So basically we have what's called a full application, and then we have what's called an easy application. The easy application is only for applicants who have already have their certificate with one of our other qualifying agencies. So let's walk through this here. So you got two questions here, and you have to select one of these options. So your firm is currently certified by NERSD, and if this is the first time you're doing this, you're going to select this option. Your firm is not currently certified by, I'm sorry, that's not the one. Let me back up. So if this is the first time you're applying for certification, you're going to select your firm is not currently certified by NERSD. The only time you're going to select this top option is when you log in to recertify. Our certification is a biannual certification, meaning you have to recertify every 2 years. And when you log in to complete your recertification application, you'll select that your firm is currently certified by NERSD. But if it's the first time and you haven't been certified at all, you're going to select the second option. So the second option gives us two more options. So we have your firm is located in one of BOP's 12 metropolitan counties, and your firm is not located in one of BOP's 12 metropolitan counties. So in order to be, we have a regional eligibility with our certification. So your firm has to have a physical business address in one of our 12 counties. And the counties are listed here: Ashtabula, Carroll, Cuyahoga, Geauga, Lake, Lorain, Mahoning, Medina, Portage, Stark, Summit, and Trumbull. So as long as you have a physical business address in one of those counties, you meet the regional eligibility. Now, that's not to say, let's say your business, because we have companies that are headquartered outside of that 12 county footprint, and we have businesses that are certified with us that are outside of the state of Ohio. Their regional eligibility is because not only do they have an office in, say, for example, let's say there's a company in Detroit that is certified with us. They're certified with us because they have a physical business address within our 12 county footprint. So they have a satellite office within our 12 county footprint that makes them eligible regionally for our certification. So as long as you meet this, as long as you have a physical business address, and we don't accept, so you're more than welcome to have a PO box listed as your mailing address, but it cannot be your business address. So let's select this first option. And then that gives us two more options. It says your firm is seeking MWBE and or SBE certification. And the second option says your firm is currently certified by one or more approved certifying agencies. And that list includes, we talked about the City of Cleveland, Cuyahoga County, OMSDC, State of Ohio, Unified Certification Program, WBENC. If you're certified, if you hold a certificate with any of these qualifying agencies, you would select this option. And by selecting that option, it gives you this here, submit an easy application. All right. So basically what's going to happen is you've already been certified by these agencies. And so basically we provided you with a truncated application. We're not going to collect as much information because you've already submitted a great deal of that information to these other agencies for your certification. What'll happen is I'll see if you submit an easy application. First thing I'm going to look at is, did they submit their certificate with one of our qualifying agencies? And then I'll make sure the certificate is current. And then I'll reach out to one of these qualifying agencies just to make sure that your business is in good standing with those agencies, okay? But if you're not, if this is your first certification, you're going to click the first option here. And this should be lit up here, submit a new application, but this says stop an application of this type is already started. That's because I already have one floating out there. All right, so you're going to select that first option. So I'm going to go back. So the other thing that I want to mention while you're operating in this B2G system is not to use the arrow buttons on your web browser. These two arrow buttons allow you to move one page back or one page forward within the application without losing any information. So let's say you were working on this page and you weren't sure about something and you wanted to go back and look at another page. Use the arrow buttons in the software here. So we're going to go back and right back to our dashboard, right? Any questions so far? Don't hesitate to put them in the chat or unmute yourself and just ask them, okay? If there are any questions.
Yes. Bad dog. I just wanted to know, because I couldn't hear you, you were kind of fading out. I know you said you can use a PO box, but you said you couldn't use a what?
So,
is it like
so what I was saying about the PO box is you can use your PO box as your mailing address. It cannot be your physical business address.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay. So your physical business address has to be, again, a physical business located within our 12 county footprint. Any other questions before we move on? Okay. So we're going to take a look at an application I already started. And you know what? Let me show you something else real quick. So this software allows you to, let's say you don't have to sit down and finish this whole application in one setting. If you get to a certain point where you're like, oh, you know, I got to go get this notarized, you know, I'm going to close this out. I'm going to close my computer. You can always log back into our system and you'll see it when you get into your dashboard. If you've already started an application, you'll see this right here, one certification application pending. If you click on that, it'll take you to this application. It'll tell you it's only 15% complete. And then if you just click on where it says under actions, click on fill in, it'll take you right to where you can pick up the application where you left off, okay? So now, once you've started the application, you have these 3 sections. So you have to finish everything in this gray box before it allows you to move on to the next thing. And so everything in this gray box needs to have a green check mark before it allows you to move into the next thing. All right. So I'm going to show you a couple things that people get caught up on this particular section of the application. The first thing that comes to mind is this section here, ownership and control. And if you don't have a lot of times when people open this up and they fill this part out, they'll still have this pink line. The pink means that if you look at the legend at the top of the screen here, let me see if I can get there. All right. Oh. Okay. So here's your question color coding. Required is in pink, yellow is optional and incomplete, and green is complete. The goal is to get everything on here green, okay? I'm mentioning this particular screen is because for whatever reason, it doesn't fit on the whole screen. So if you don't scroll over and see that there's these 2 columns that are usually hidden and don't fill out the salary information and the type of shares information, then this thing will stay pink and you won't know why. So just keep in mind that for section 3, you have to scroll over to the right to see the whole document so you can fill out all of the entries. Also, if there's, for whatever reason, this software doesn't like you leaving anything blank. So you want to make sure that, especially in a field that requires a number. So if the number is 0, just put 0 in that field, okay? Any questions about that? Okay. The second thing that trips people up is our document list. And this is a section where you upload all of your documents that you've collected. So we got, at the top, we got mandatory and we got required documents, okay? So let's run through the list of mandatory documents here. So the first mandatory document is the cover letter requesting certification from the NARSD. This is just as simple as giving us a simple letter on company letterhead, if you have it, just saying that you're seeking certification with the sewer district, the name of your business, maybe a brief description, just a brief letter requesting certification with the NARSD. Copies of business federal tax returns for the past 5 years. This is how we determine your business's financial eligibility in the sewer district program. Now, for the longest, we required that a business had to be in business for at least a year before they could apply for certification. We no longer have that. So now what we would need is we need to see at least 3 invoices and proof that you're being paid for those invoices in order to certify you. That's only if you do not have the 5 years of tax return. Even if you haven't been in business for 5 years, just give us the 3 years of tax return or the 1 year of tax returns that you have for the business. Upload it in this section. All right. And we need the complete tax return, not just, whatever pages that you're that you take out and upload. We need to see the complete tax return. The next one is proof of identification from majority owner / principal, just a color copy of your driver's license. Resume of all principals of the company. We need to see the resumes of everybody that's a shareholder in the company. So let's say you have 3 partners. I need to see all 4 of your resumes. All right. 3 business references. That's pretty simple. Copy of business insurance certificate. Now, this doesn't apply to all businesses. So it's okay if you attach a document that says that this does not apply to your particular business. An equipment list, I'm just looking for a Word document that lists out the equipment that you use to conduct your business. Copies of 3 recent current contracts or client invoices. We need to see that, even if you do provide us with the 5 years of tax returns. Copy of certificate of good standing from the Ohio Secretary of State. This is a very specific document that you can obtain from the Ohio Secretary of State. You have to pay $5. And once you pay the $5, you'll get a PDF version of your certificate that you can upload to this application. A copy of your operating agreement. This is a document that outlines how your business is structured. And if you do not have one, you can get a template if you just Google a template for your operating agreement, you can fill it in as it pertains to your business. Now, you have to be careful. If you use just a boilerplate template, you have to read through that agreement and make sure that everything in that agreement applies directly to your business. So if you get a boilerplate template and that template has a section that says board of directors and list of board of directors, and your company doesn't have a board of directors or a single operator LLC, then you need to omit that page from your operating agreement. Because what's going to happen is I'm going to read through the operating agreement and I'm going to see it says that you have a board of directors, and I'm going to reach back out to you and ask you for their names and contact information. So to avoid that, and that'll just add the time that it takes to process your application. So to avoid that, just read through the template and use only the pages as they apply to your business. And then the signed and notarized application affidavit, you have to download our version of the affidavit. If you have multiple certifications, you have an affidavit for each one of those. You cannot reuse those affidavits for other certifications. Those affidavits are specific to the organization that is providing you with the certification. And you can download that. And I don't know, my computer's taking on that. It's moving really slow this morning. But you download the affidavit that says Northeast Ohio Regional Sewer District right at the top there. You fill it out right online and then print it out and then have it notarized. Okay. Any questions?
I have a question for you. I know you mentioned that you have to have 3 invoices, even if you haven't been in business for 5 years. Can you just speak to the fact that people probably on the call are asking, well, I have an IT business. Should I apply for the Northeast Ohio Regional Sewer District certification? How would you respond to that?
If you have an IT business?
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We certify all types of businesses. And the thing about the sewer district certification is that even if you're certified with the sewer district and you're not doing any business with the sewer district, you can use that certificate in other arenas that require you to be certified as a MBE, WBE, or SBE. So again, it's a free certificate. It only costs you the time to fill out the application. And other agencies will accept it as an acceptable form of proof that you are an MBE, WB, or SBE.
Thank you, sir.
You are welcome. You're welcome. Any other questions before we move on to required documents? Okay, so the required document section is different than the mandatory document section because these are only required if they apply to your particular business. So for example, the first one is copy of all relevant licenses and registrations. If your business, the business you're in, doesn't require a relevant license, then this doesn't apply to you. And again, you can upload that document that says this particular, oh, you actually, in this section, you can mark, they recently updated this, which is really cool. You can actually mark not applicable, and it won't require you to upload a document. Whereas up here, if you don't upload a document, it won't allow you to move on to the next section. So they just recently updated this, so you can just hit this, click this checkbox if it doesn't apply to you, and it won't hinder your ability to submit the application. Copies of all resolutions affecting ownership. If, for example, you started out with 3 partners and now you only have 2 partners, we would need to see the resolutions in your operating agreement that that ownership change was made. Okay. And again, so if that doesn't apply to your business, you just click mark as not applicable. Copy of assumed name, certificate, or documentation. We would only require this if you're operating under a DBA, doing business as a fictitious name, and that you would have to have that name registered with the state of Ohio. And so that's where you would upload that certificate. If it applies to your business. Copy of birth certificate from majority owner. This only applies to MBE applicants. Copy of certification. So if you went that easy application route, this is where you would upload your certification from our partnering agency. And that list is repeated here as well. Copies of any lease agreements. A lot of people skip this one, but this is important. So if you're operating a home business, in this section, I need to see if you're renting your home, I need to see your lease agreement. Or if you own your home, I need to see either a copy of your property taxes or a copy of your mortgage statement. If you are actually operating out of an office, or if you're operating your business out of a separate building from your home, I would need to see the lease agreement for that space where your business is operating. If you own the building that your business operates out of, then I would need to see either the mortgage statement or the property taxes. Okay. Any questions about the required documents?
Brandon, I have a question. If you go back up to the previous one, the documents where you said if they don't apply to you, you have to submit a letter.
Mhm.
Does it have to? Okay, so on that letter, it's a cover letter. So does it have to have the company's name on there, or does it just?
It can just be a Word document that says this doesn't apply to my business.
Okay.
Basically, it's a placeholder, because if you don't
placeholder.
upload it, it won't allow you to go to the next section. All right.
Got
Any other questions? All right.
I have a question. I'm appreciating the time that you're giving us right now, Brandon, and I want to just thank you so much for going through step by step with us. But I see it's still a lot of information that's being said, and if I have any other questions while I'm going through the process, can I reach out and contact you as well, or no?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Please don't hesitate. Please make sure you get. Did April put my contact information in the chat box? Make sure everybody.
I will do that right now, Brandon.
Okay, thank you. Yeah,
Sure.
take down my information. Anybody, I'm always available. Anybody that's having problems with this process, even if we need to make an appointment where I need to sit down and do this thing one-on-one with you, I'm more than willing to do that. So yeah, any questions you might have, don't hesitate to ask them. All right. And
All right, thank you.
appreciate-
I want to appreciate your time. I want to say thank you very much.
no problem.
All right.
All right, so we're gonna move on to the next section. All right, so once you've completed everything on this page, there's a button down here at the bottom, and if you miss it, it's gonna screw everything up. So once you uploaded everything, you got to hit this lock in button. Okay, so once you hit that lock in button, you'll be able to return and go back to the next section. And when you go back to the next section, you should have a green check mark that will allow you to move to the next piece. All right. Any questions about the application right now? Because I'm going to use the last bit of time that we have to show you what you need to do after you've received your certificate, or even before, just to see what opportunities are available at the sewer district. So are there any other questions about the application? Okay. So now, what I'm going to show you next is the key to getting contracts with the sewer district. So we're going to go back to the, let's see, we're going to go back to our homepage, which is neorsd.org. So now, how contracts work at the sewer district. So anything below $50,000. Basically what happens is the department at the sewer district will reach out to me and ask, hey, Brandon, do we have any firms that are certified to do, for example, debris removal? And I'll go in the system and I'll pull a list of qualified and certified firms that can perform that work. And that department will reach out to you directly to let you know that we have a bid coming up and we want you to put a bid in because you're a part of our business opportunity program. And you'll get direct contact from the project managers at the sewer district that are directing those projects. The other way, anything $50,000 and above shows up on our bid board. And I'm going to show you our bid board here. So again, we're back at the homepage here, and we're going to go to business, go down to doing business with us. And then this section right here, bids, proposals, active, closed, and awarded. So I tell all my clients, if you want to do business with the sewer district, you got to add this into your routine of coming and checking out our bid board on a weekly basis, because this stuff changes weekly. All right. And so right now, looks like we got 3 open bids here. And we know they're open because they're on the active tab. So we got 3 tabs here: active, closed, and awarded. Anything on the closed tab these are all bids that have opened and closed. So right now, all these bids, they're actually probably going through and reviewing each one of the bids. Anybody that submitted a bid for any of these projects, they're reviewing the bid and making sure that they're eligible. And the sewer district, the lowest bid wins. Okay. So once they've determined who the winner of that particular bid is, that will show up on this tab. This is the awarded tab. Okay. And so let's see, let's take a look at this particular one here. So if you go to click here under actions, so it'll run down what the description was, and it'll show you who the winning bid was, and it'll show you what the winning bid was. So awarded bid $1.3 million, and that went to Cold Harbor Building Co. Okay. So let me show you how you could possibly get in on that particular awarded bid. And I'm going to show you by going back to our active tab here. So here's three active three active bids here. And so let's click on this one here. Okay, so in this particular section, this is going to show you what the contract overview is. All right. It'll tell you what the estimated cost of that particular project is going to be. And then here you got WBE, MBE goal, and SBE goal. These goals are set based on the availability of a certified WBE or MBE and SBE. So for this particular project, no goal was set, probably because this estimate was low in terms of what we normally see in this section here. So this is not even $300,000 for this particular project. But you saw the other one was $1.3 million. So if there was an actual goal set on this particular project, that goal in percentage would be right here. So normally there's a combined WBE and MBE goal of about 15%, and then there's usually a 5% SBE goal. And if a goal was set on this particular project, it'll be right there. So now, if you know that there's a 15% goal on this project, that means 15% of this $268,000 needs to be spent with a WBE or an MBE certified firm, okay? And so what you need to do is scroll down to the section here where it says pre-bid conference information. So this particular pre-bid conference was held on May 20th. All the information about that is going to be right in this section here. Contact name, that's the project manager. This person is this is a sewer district employee, okay? So what you need to do is when you look at this section of our website is to make sure you put these pre-bid conferences on your calendar. A lot of these have been taking place virtually, but as we move into the summer months, as with most places, going back to quote unquote normal, I would not be surprised if you started seeing these pre-bid conferences take place in person. And they usually take place in person on the site of the particular project. So most of you know that we have 4 water treatment facilities across Northeast Ohio. It would tell you exactly which site that's taking place at. Also, if you're planning on attending these in person, usually what happens after they do the complete overhaul and the description of the project, traditionally what they do is they do a walking tour or a bus tour of the actual site to show you where the project is going to take place. And those sites require the proper personal protective gear. So if you're planning on attending, especially my construction workers, my trucking clients, make sure you keep your PPE with you, your hard hat, your safety glasses, steel-toed boots. All of those things are required to go on these tours. They're not required to attend the pre-bid conference, but if you plan on going on a tour after the conference, you'll need to make sure you have your protective gear. No exceptions, and we don't provide it. So if you show up and you say you forgot, we don't have extra stuff laying around that you can just put on. But like I said, this is paramount. So when you attend these pre-bid conference meetings, you you really have to work the room and learn who's in the room and who's going to be putting bids in on this particular project. You have to build relationships with our prime contractors. And the prime contractors are usually the contractors that win these larger bids. So you can kind of take a look, like I said, using this awarded tab, you can look at the companies, the names of the companies who are being awarded these larger contracts. And you have to figure out who the project manager is and reach out to those guys and say, hey, you know, I saw you guys were at the pre-bid meeting, or if you're interested in putting in a bid on this contract, I hold my, you know, my MBE certificate with the sewer district. I'm certified, you know, as a, whatever your business is, basically make the case for why they should choose you to be included on this particular contract. Which is why I was surprised this morning when we were asking for elevator pitches, nobody wanted to go. You guys have to get comfortable articulating what it is you do and how it is you can help these larger companies. Because a lot of times, you know, these companies are so big, even the sewer district, we have over 700 employees. And people ask me all the time, oh yeah, I work with so-and-so at the sewer district. Do you know blah, blah, blah? I'm like, no, I don't. It's just because with such a large organization that, so, you know, it's impossible to know everybody. But you really have to build relationships with the project managers at these larger firms. So number one, especially if you haven't worked with them before. And maybe even a better idea might be to get with them on a smaller basis. So that way, when a larger contract like a sewer district contract comes up, they're already comfortable working with you and the relationship makes more sense. And they have a better idea of what you can provide and how you provide it. That's just my 2 cents. That's just my, you know, my sitting on the sidelines and trying to help coach our clients into obtaining contracts with the sewer district. Any questions so far? Because if not, that's all I have to share with you.
I have a quick question, Brandon.
Please.
Okay. So you were talking earlier about bids, and then you've also walked us through, you know, some of the awards that have been, contracts that have been awarded. So I noticed you had there that there are some estimations. So in my business, a lot of our estimations are not the customer actually doing the cost accounting, but we're doing the cost accounting in terms of what we believe the project will cost. But then I thought I heard you also say something to the extent of at the water company that the lowest bid wins. So to that note, do you guys mainly do your own cost accounting, or do you actually look for your potential contractors to help you with that estimation, and then that's how you go about your estimations, if that makes sense? I'm sorry, I think I...
No, it does make sense. So most of the time we do it internally. Our project managers use historical data and they're able to set those estimations. Now,
Okay.
in the off chance there's something, like I just got something across my desk, I can't remember what it was, for something very specific. It was like some type of polymer additive. A lot of times they already know what company they want to use, and they kind of work in tandem with that company.
Okay.
So, but to answer your question, a lot of the estimating is done by the project managers based on internal, you know, historical data collected at the sewer district.
Okay, perfect. You answered my question. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Are there any other questions?
We have individual questions. Is there a number we can call you at?
Sure. What?
Yes, if you go in the chat box, I put all of Brandon's contact information in there, including the phone number and email. And
Perfect.
also, when we're done with today's workshop, I'll also send an email with all of the contact information of the presenters so that you can set up individual appointments with them.
And Michelle, just to reiterate, the best way, especially now since I'm between the office and home, send me an email and be sure to include your phone number in the email,
Will do. Thank
and
you.
then I can reach right back out to you. Are there any other questions? All right, if not, I'm going to turn it back over to April.
Yes. Thank you so
Floor is
much,
yours.
Brandon.